Two potential high-thrust turbofan engines, the PD-24 and PD-26, are now at the center of a serious debate inside Russia's aviation industry. Neither engine has officially entered serial production yet, but both concepts are appearing more frequently in discussions surrounding Russia's future aircraft programs. The conversation intensified after models of the new Tupolev Tu-454 widebody appeared with PD-26 engines, while the stretched Yakovlev MC-2500 concept became linked with the PD-24 class. At the heart of this debate lies a very basic but extremely important industrial question. Should Russia create two separate engine families in the 24 to 26-ton thrust category, or should everything be consolidated around a single derivative of the larger PD-35 core? The answer could shape the future of Russian civil and military aviation for decades. And honestly, this is where things start becoming far more complicated than a simple engine comparison. To understand why the PD-24 and PD-26 matter so much, it is necessary to look back at the engines that established the foundation for modern Russian aerospace ambitions. Russia's modern engine roadmap effectively began with the PD-14, developed primarily for the MC-21 program. The PD-14 became Russia's first major post-Soviet civil turbofan and served as the technological base for an entire family of future engines. From there, Russian industry moved towards something significantly larger. That next step became the PD-35 program, a massive 35-ton class engine intended for future widebody aircraft and possible successors to aging heavy transport platforms. But the PD-35 was never viewed as just one engine. Russian aerospace circles increasingly described it as a scalable gas generator platform capable of spawning multiple variants with different thrust ratings. That single idea eventually opened the door for the PD-24 and PD-26 concepts. The gas generator, essentially the hot core of the engine, could theoretically be scaled down into smaller but still extremely powerful derivatives. In simple terms, instead of designing entirely new engines from scratch, engineers could reuse a common technological base across several aircraft categories. Altitude Addicts has noticed that this platform strategy is becoming increasingly common across global aerospace programs because development costs are simply getting too high. Now the discussion naturally shifts toward the PD-26 itself. Russian aviation analysts increasingly describe the PD-26 as a reduced thrust derivative of the PD-35 using the same gas generator core. The logic behind this approach is actually fairly straightforward. A full 35-ton engine is excessive for many aircraft categories, while the PD-35 core itself is extremely large and expensive. By reducing thrust output to roughly 26 tons while retaining the same core architecture, Russia could theoretically reduce development costs and simplify production logistics at the same time. Shared turbine technologies, common manufacturing tooling, overlapping maintenance infrastructure, and easier certification pathways could all emerge from this approach. The more engines produced from a common family, the cheaper each unit potentially becomes. Well, at least that is the theory anyway. This is why many observers now see the PD-26 as a strategic middle ground engine positioned between the PD-14 family and the massive PD-35. The recent Tupolev Tu-454 mock-up displaying PD-26 engines was especially revealing because it hinted that Russian designers may already consider the PD-26 the preferred power plant for future twin-engine wide-body aircraft instead of the significantly larger PD-35. That detail may sound small, but it is actually a very important signal about the direction Russian aerospace planning could be taking. If the PD-26 becomes standardized across multiple aircraft categories, it could eventually evolve into one of the most important engines in post-Soviet Russian aviation. From here, the discussion inevitably moves toward the Il-100 Slon, because this aircraft sits right at the center of the entire debate. The proposed Il-100 is being studied as a potential long-term successor to the Antonov An-124 Ruslan. Russian concept studies suggest payload targets approaching 180 tons, along with intercontinental range capability. Initially, the Slon concept was associated with 4 full-scale PD-35 engines, but analysts quickly realized that operating 4 enormous 35-ton class engines could become economically brutal. Fuel consumption, maintenance complexity, manufacturing costs, and operational expenses would all rise dramatically. There is no elegant way to say it. A giant aircraft with 4 giant engines becomes very expensive very quickly. That realization opened the path for reduced thrust derivatives like the PD-26 and potentially the PD-24. Some Russian aviation voices argued that engines producing roughly 24 tons of thrust each might still be enough for a 4-engine heavy transport configuration. However, critics immediately pushed back against that idea. Their argument was simple. A 4-engine aircraft with only around 24 tons of thrust per engine may no longer satisfy the original strategic ambitions of the Slon program. Various calculations circulating in Russian aerospace discussions suggest such an aircraft could struggle to transport a 180-ton payload over 7,000 kilometers. In that scenario, the aircraft risks becoming more like an upgraded An-124 rather than a true next-generation strategic airlifter. This disagreement has effectively divided the debate into 2 competing camps. One side believes Russia should prioritize maximum military capability and retain higher thrust PD-26 class engines because strategic airlift performance matters more than operating economics. According to this perspective, sacrificing payload or range simply to reduce fuel burn would undermine the purpose of creating a new heavy transport aircraft. The opposing side argues that Russia's present industrial and economic realities simply cannot support excessively fuel-hungry aircraft programs forever. Supporters of lower-thrust solutions believe reduced operating costs and simpler logistics may ultimately matter more than absolute peak performance. And to be fair, both sides actually have strong arguments here. Interestingly, this entire discussion strongly resembles historical Soviet aviation disputes, where military ambition frequently collided with industrial limitations and economic constraints. Some things in aerospace never really change. Altitude Addicts has seen similar tensions appear repeatedly throughout aviation history, whenever nations attempt to balance strategic requirements with financial reality. That naturally brings the focus toward the more mysterious engine in the discussion, the PD-24. Official information regarding the PD-24 remains extremely limited, which is partly why speculation around it has grown so rapidly. Unlike the PD-26, the PD-24 is increasingly associated with civilian aviation rather than military transports. Russian aerospace discussions frequently connect it with stretched versions of the MC-21 family and possible medium-sized wide-body aircraft projects. The MC-21-500 concept, equipped with PD-24 engines, became particularly significant because it implied a much heavier and more capable aircraft than the standard MC-21, currently flying with PD-14 engines. Such an aircraft could potentially occupy a market segment between traditional narrow-body jets and true long-range wide-bodies. In practical terms, Russia may be exploring an aircraft family strategy somewhat similar to Airbus and Boeing. The PD-14 would power standard narrow-body aircraft. The PD-24 could support stretched civil variants. The PD-26 would serve wide-bodies and transports, while the PD-35 would remain reserved for exceptionally large aircraft. If that interpretation is accurate, then the PD-24 is probably not just a weaker PD-26. Instead, it may be optimized around an entirely different philosophy, despite the relatively close thrust figures. And this is where the real technical distinction between the 2 engines becomes important. The argument is not simply about a difference of 2 tons of thrust. The deeper issue involves how each engine is optimized for its intended role. A civilian-oriented PD-24 would likely prioritize lower fuel consumption, reduced maintenance costs, quieter operation, longer service intervals, and lower overall engine weight. Commercial airlines care intensely about efficiency because profitability depends on fuel burn and long-term operating economics across thousands of flight cycles. Meanwhile, a military-focused PD-26 could prioritize completely different requirements. Designers may focus on maximum takeoff performance, operation from underdeveloped airfields, durability under harsh conditions, larger thermal margins, and reliability during overload scenarios. These are not glamorous design goals, but they matter enormously for military aviation. This means the PD-24 and PD-26 could theoretically coexist despite appearing similar on paper. Western engine manufacturers often create multiple variants around a shared technological core, while optimizing each one for very different missions. However, theory and industrial reality are not always the same thing. The greatest obstacle to simultaneously developing both engines may not be engineering capability at all. It may simply be industrial capacity. Russia is already facing substantial difficulties scaling production of the PD-14 family. Manufacturing bottlenecks, supply chain disruptions, sanctions pressure, and infrastructure limitations continue affecting expansion efforts across the aerospace sector. Under those conditions, launching two overlapping engine families inside the same thrust category becomes an enormous challenge. Separate certification programs, different nacelle designs, expanded supply chains, duplicated engineering teams, and additional manufacturing infrastructure would all demand huge investments. Frankly, that is a very heavy burden for any aviation industry. Because of this, many industrial arguments increasingly favor the PD-26 approach. The PD-26 aligns naturally with the broader PD-35 ecosystem and supports a consolidation strategy built around shared components and scalable production. If the PD-26 directly shares the PD-35 gas generator, Russia could benefit from substantial economies of scale in manufacturing and maintenance. Spare parts inventories, turbine technologies, training systems, and production tooling could all overlap across multiple aircraft categories. That kind of commonality can dramatically reduce long-term costs. In that scenario, the PD-24 could gradually become unnecessary. Engineers might simply derate the PD-26 electronically or mechanically for aircraft requiring lower thrust instead of building an entirely separate engine family. This is very similar to approaches already used by major Western engine manufacturers. Yet the argument for keeping both engines has not disappeared. Supporters of the PD-24 still point toward civil aviation economics as the deciding factor. A dedicated PD-24 optimized specifically for commercial airline operations could potentially deliver better fuel efficiency and lower operating costs than a derated military-oriented PD-26. Airlines judge engines based on long-term profitability, including maintenance expenses, fuel consumption, reliability, and service lifespan across thousands of cycles. Military aircraft priorities are simply different. If Russia genuinely wants to establish a competitive domestic widebody ecosystem or expand the MC-21 family into larger aircraft categories, then a specialized civil-oriented PD-24 may still make strategic sense despite the overlap in thrust. This becomes even more important because Russian airlines already face difficult economic conditions, limited fleet flexibility, and sanctions-related operational pressures. Altitude Addicts believes this commercial aviation factor may ultimately keep the PD-24 discussion alive longer than many expect. So where does all this probably lead? At the moment, the most likely outcome appears to be that only one engine family in this category will eventually reach large-scale serial production. And right now, the strongest candidate appears to be the PD-26 class, derived from the PD-35 core. Russia's aviation sector increasingly favors industrial consolidation and manufacturing simplification over highly specialized parallel programs. A scalable PD-26 platform could potentially power military transports, future twin-engine widebodies, upgraded Il-96 derivatives, and perhaps several additional aircraft categories simultaneously. Meanwhile, the PD-24 risks becoming too specialized unless a major civilian aircraft program is formally launched around it. The appearance of PD-26 engines on the latest Tupolev widebody model may therefore represent more than just a design study. It could actually reflect where Russian aerospace leadership is already leaning behind the scenes. In the end, the PD-24 versus PD-26 debate is really about far more than engines alone. It reflects Russia's broader post-sanctions aviation strategy and the difficult choices facing its aerospace sector. Russia now faces a critical decision. Should it develop numerous specialized aviation products with relatively small production volumes, or should it concentrate resources into a smaller number of scalable industrial platforms capable of serving multiple aircraft categories simultaneously? The PD-26 concept fits perfectly into the second approach because it emphasizes scalability, industrial efficiency, and commonality across programs. The PD-24 represents a more specialized path focused on maximizing civil aviation efficiency and airline economics. Historically, Soviet aviation often favored highly specialized aircraft tailored for very specific missions. Modern Russia, however, increasingly appears pushed toward consolidation by economic pressure, sanctions, and manufacturing limitations. And ultimately, those industrial realities may decide the winner of the PD-24 versus PD-26 debate far more decisively than raw engineering performance ever could. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Please also take the channel membership to encourage us.